You walk into someone's house, and within seconds you feel it. Not just that it's clean, but that everything is exactly where it should be. The couch cushions are perfectly aligned. The kitchen counter looks untouched. There's no random clutter, no half-finished mess, no sign that life ever got chaotic here. And without even thinking, your brain tells you something. This person has their life together. But let me ask you something a little uncomfortable. What if that feeling is misleading? What if a perfectly clean home isn't just about discipline or good habits, but sometimes it's something deeper? Because here's the truth most people never talk about. Clean spaces don't always come from calm minds. Sometimes they come from minds that are trying to create calm. Think about that. Why does a messy room make some people slightly uncomfortable, but for others it feels almost unbearable? Why do some people clean to relax, and others clean because they can't relax until everything is in place? That difference is not just preference, it's psychology. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it, because keeping your house clean isn't just a habit. For many people, it's a system, a silent, everyday system their brain uses to manage something much bigger. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine this. You've had one of those days. Everything felt slightly off. Conversations didn't go how you expected. Something small bothered you more than it should have. Your mind feels crowded, like too many tabs open at once. You walk into your room, and it's messy. Clothes on the chair, dishes on the desk, things out of place. And suddenly, everything feels worse. Not because the mess caused your stress, but because your brain no longer has anywhere to rest. So what do? You start cleaning. You don't overthink it. You don't plan it. You just start. You pick things up. You organize. You wipe surfaces. You bring order back into the space. And something interesting happens. Your breathing slows down. Your thoughts feel clearer. Your body relaxes. Just a little. Now here's the important question. Did cleaning fix your problems? No. But it gave your brain something it desperately needed in that moment. Control. Psychologists have studied this for years. Your environment doesn't just reflect your mental state. It actively shapes it. When your surroundings are chaotic, your brain has to process more information. More visual noise. More unpredictability. It creates a subtle but constant sense of overload. But when your environment is structured, predictable, organized, your brain relaxes, feels safer. And for some people, that feeling becomes essential, not optional, essential. Now let's take this one step further. For some people, cleaning isn't just something they do after a bad day. It becomes part of how they function every day. Their space is always clean, always organized, always under control. From the outside, it looks impressive, disciplined, responsible, put together. But internally, can sometimes be something else entirely. Because when life feels unpredictable, people look for something that isn't. And your environment, that's one of the few things you can fully control. You can't control how people treat you. You can't control uncertainty. You can't control every outcome in your life. But you can control where your keys go, where your shoes are placed, how your kitchen looks. And for some minds, that control becomes more than a preference. It becomes a coping mechanism, a quiet way of saying, at least this part of my life makes sense. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Have you ever met someone who can't relax in a messy space? Not just prefers clean, but genuinely feels uncomfortable, restless, irritated, almost anxious. That's not just being organized. That's your brain reacting to disorder like it's a problem that needs to be solved. In psychology, clutter is often linked to something called cognitive load. Your brain is constantly processing everything around you. Every object you see, every unfinished task, every visual distraction. It all takes up mental space. Now imagine your brain like a desk. If the desk is clear, you can focus. If the desk is covered in random things, your attention gets pulled in 100 directions. That's exactly what clutter does. And for people who already have a busy, overactive mind, that extra noise becomes overwhelming. So what do? They remove it. They clean. They organize. They simplify their environment so their mind can finally breathe. But here's the part most people don't realize. For some people, cleanliness becomes identity. They're not just someone who cleans. They become the organized one, the reliable one, the one who always has everything together. And that identity feels good. People trust them, respect them, rely on them. They become the person others look at and think, I wish I was that put together. But over time, that identity can turn into pressure. Because now it's not just about keeping things clean. It's about maintaining a version of yourself. And the moment things slip, even a little, it doesn't just feel like a messy room. It feels like something is wrong with you. Now let's pause for a second, because I want to be very clear about something. Keeping your house clean is not a problem. In fact, it's often a strength. It shows awareness, self-respect, the ability to create order in your life. But like anything, it exists on a spectrum. On one end, it's healthy structure. On the other, it becomes something you rely on to feel okay. And the difference between those two isn't visible from the outside. It's internal. It's about why you're doing it. Some people clean because they enjoy it. Some clean because it helps them reset. And some clean because without it, they feel unsettled, anxious, out of control. And here's the part that hits deeper. Sometimes, the cleanest spaces belong to people who feel the messiest inside. Because cleaning gives something life often doesn't. Immediate results. You wipe a surface, it becomes clean. You organize a space, it looks better instantly. There's clarity, completion, control. And your brain loves that, especially if other parts of your life feel uncertain. Now think about this. Someone walks into your home. They see everything in place, everything organized, everything calm. What they don't see is the process behind it, the thoughts, the tension, the relief when everything is just right. Because from the outside, it's just a clean house. But from the inside, it might be something much more personal. And maybe that's the real shift here. Not judging the behavior, but understanding it. Because every habit has a reason. Every pattern has a story. And the moment you understand that story, you stop labeling yourself and start understanding yourself. So next time you clean your space, or notice someone else who keeps everything perfectly in order, pause for a second and ask a different question. Not why are they like this, but what does this give them? Because sometimes what looks like control is actually someone trying to create peace. And that changes everything. Soft tone shift, and we're just getting started. Because this is only one layer. In the next part, we're going to go deeper into how cleanliness connects to anxiety, perfectionism, and the hidden patterns that shape your behavior without you even realizing it. So if any part of this made you stop and think, stay with me, because what you're about to understand next might explain more about you than you expect.